Hey y'all, it's Natalie and I'm here today for a SpiegelMom Scraps video. I have been hoarding these ROYGBIV sequins and I'm sorry, but this fully proves why I hoard things because I knew the perfect photos would come along and they very much did. So you can see I have these professional photos that my sister-in-law had done for my nephew for his first birthday. He was his party is the Very Hungry Caterpillar theme. And so they did a normal photo shoot, but then they did at the end where they got him some snacks and he wore this little caterpillar outfit and it's like the cutest thing and I can't even stand it. But if you remember the book, it has all these lovely little rainbow dots everywhere in the book and all of the fruits are very colorful. And these sequins are so perfect to document a very hungry Wally, which is going to be my title. So I have die cut his name with some just basic red cardstock. And now I have gotten out my Mod Podge and I'm just painting it with a paintbrush that my kids already ruined. Don't use a good paintbrush for this, but I'm painting it with the Mod Podge. And then I'm just kind of patting it down onto a pile of sequins. There's a few different, techniques you could do to do this, but this was the best way that I felt like I could do this. And it was like pretty good. Like I didn't get it all over my fingers. What you see me doing there is I'm using my little sequin scoop, which I also got from SpiegelMom Scraps. That was a nice little NSD special gift when I bought my Dink order, which was a special request from me to Sarah. But I'm using that sharp, the straight edge of it to kind of just push the sequins onto the die cut alpha so that they don't stick out and kind of distort the letter. I want the reader to be able to see what the alphas actually spell. So I'm just kind of doing half and half just so I'm not sticking my finger in the Mod Podge as I do it. And then I feel like at the end, if anything falls off or there's any missing spots or anything like that, I'll just fill it in myself with glue the way that I normally would apply sequins on anything. So here I go with the A. Now I did choose like one of my alphas. This one is the Jeff alpha from Pink Fresh Studio, and it has two. So this is kind of like the background or the outline, and there's a smaller alpha that is cut for the inside. And so I'm only doing the background of the outside. So it doesn't have the inside of it cut, if that makes sense. Like the cut out of the inside of the A, the triangle, it's not cut out. So I'm not worrying about trying to maneuver sequins around that hole or leave that hole open or anything like that. But it worked really well. You could also like apply the Mod Podge on top of the sequins at the end as well, to ensure that they are just nice and stuck down. And it would not distort the look, or I don't think it would diminish the shimmer or the shine or the sparkle at all. I didn't do that though. I felt like they were going to hold on pretty well. Maybe I'll regret it someday. I don't know. We'll find out. So I'm going to set those to dry because they do take a little bit to dry. So I set them off to the side. I did 3 cuts on my Cricut of this very skinny the word hungry out of some green cardstock. And I'm just going to stack them up to get a little bit of a thicker word because I knew that I wanted it to have a little bit of dimension off the page. But I also knew that I wanted a really skinny alpha to kind of contrast with the Wally word that I was using. I was using a really fat serif die, and so I wanted a really scripty, skinny word. So I cut that out with just a font I downloaded on my Cricut, and then welded together, and it says hungry. So I'm going to cut it, or I'm going to, stack it up 3 times here with Manuvo adhesive. And I like to use the wet glue because it allows me to kind of stick everything together, and then it's still a little wet and loose, and I can move it around just until everything is kind of stacked really nicely and nothing is sticking out on any side or anything like that. So I'm loving the way that looks. I did like kind of go into this thinking I was just gonna do a plain white background, do these alphas, let those be the star of the show to highlight his photos. But then I started thinking about it and I was like, they have the dots, and I had helped prepare some of the birthday decorations, and so we had some printables, and on the printables they really went heavy with like the polka dots, the rainbow dots, and I was like, I need to incorporate those somehow to kind of go with the sequins. Here I'm using some of the red tissue paper that I kept from my cherry box. So you see right there, I'm like, maybe I'll put the green paper at the top, and that's when I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to incorporate the dots from the book. So I go and I grab this Vicky Bouton circle stamp, and I decide to just grab my different rainbow colored inks, and I've sped it up a lot for this process. And I'm not kind of doing any kind of specific pattern. Some you saw me to do 2 red ones. I wanted it to be organic and seem random completely, no pattern. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of stamping them. And I'm just going to do 2 rows across the top and all the rainbow colors. And that gives a nod to the book. It gives a nod to additional rainbowness to kind of tie into the sequins. And then, you know, they're my distress oxide. So I did grab a little bit of water and a paintbrush and just kind of moved the color around just a bit, distorted a little bit of distress. And I will add a little bit of splatter with each color as well on top of the stamped color. But not a lot. I didn't add gesso. You know, I didn't add that much water because I didn't have gesso and I wasn't intending to make some big wild mixed media piece. So I'm just trimming down the tissue paper around the photos here and sticking them down. Just be a little bit careful if you're using your glue gun, your like tape runner on some tissue paper, because sometimes it can rip it. So I did 2 layers under his photo, but it was a nice little pop of that red. So now I'm just kind of placing everything back on the layout and deciding where everything goes before I commit to sticking it down. Those 2 leaves are really big giant leaf dies from LDRS, Little Darlings, something Little Darling. I'm sorry. LDRS is what it's called. And I can't remember what the R is for, but that's a really fun die and I love it a lot. I'll link it down below. I can't think of it off the top of my head while I'm speaking, but I will put the link down below and then you will know and you will be like, duh, Natalie, that's what they are. They're so cute. And actually the alphas are from them too. Okay, I'm getting up and looking because it's going to drive me crazy that I can't remember. So there I am adding in the splatter. LDRS Creative. Y'all, it does Little Darlings Rubber Stamps. Little Darlings Rubber Stamps. That's what they stand for. I think they're a British company. They have really cute stuff. So the alphas that I'm going to use for a very hungry Wally is the whole title. So I'm going to use these rainbow alphas that are very super skinny, teeny tiny little puffy alpha stickers from LDRS as well. And so that die came from them also. So there I am. I'm just adding these sequins onto the Wally if they fell off or if there's just like empty spots where I stuck them down into the pile of sequins and some didn't stick. I am kind of like doubling up and piling some up because it's going to look really haphazard and that's how it's meant to look. And then I'm going to just lift them up a little bit to stick this Cricut cut underneath it because obviously it's not going to overlap. And then I did stick my acrylic block down on top while they dried to make sure that everything stuck down really nicely. And then I confiscated these stickers from my kids' goodie bags that they received at their cousin's party because obviously I need them more than they do. And I put them on his page. And I'm probably going to keep all the rest of them that I didn't use so I can put them on more pages. Sorry, kids. They know. They're old enough. They know by now this is how it goes. It's mommy tax. Instead of candy, it is stickers. It happens at Disney World too. Sorry. But it's true. I mean, if they really, really want the stickers, they can have the stickers. But I'm just saying they are just like, here, mommy, you can have these because they know that mommy appreciates a good matching sticker to go in the scrapbook because they're sweet boys like that. So I have stuck those down with additional Nuvo adhesive just to make sure that they stick for the long run. I'm going to go in with more stickers. I'm kind of just sticking them into the negative space on the photos. I'm going to use all of the food stickers down the right side over here. She said that was his favorite part of the photo shoot. We have another family photo shoot coming up and I'm like, oh great, do I have to provide just snacks? She was like, I think he expects it, yes. So we'll see how that goes. Our fall photo shoot may have a smorgasbord. But yeah, those look good. And they're not dimensional or anything, which is a little bit of a stray from what I normally have going on. But I like the way it looks. And now I am just using additional ROYGBIV sequins. And I'm just going to scatter them all over the page. So I'm tucking them under the leaves. I'm kind of grouping them around in just little corners and little crevices around the page. And then I'm also going to kind of color block them and put them on the same stamped circles at the top that the color matches. And look at me, I hoarded those ROYGBIV sequins and I knew I would have the perfect photos, but I still have so many. So I spelled out his whole name full of sequins, piled them up, and scattered sequins on the page, and I still have like a half packet left. So always very generous over at SpiegelMom Scraps. I'm gonna link down below. These are very much available in the store. I hope you love them as much as I do. They can go for so many things. You can isolate them and use them in order, or you can kind of compile them like I did on the Wally Word and, you know, have a big, nice rainbow of color on your page. You can use my code NatalieDill for 15% off, or I think you'll also just automatically get 15% off if you click the affiliate link down below. I'll also throw in some affiliate links from the other products if they are still available in the Cherry on Top store. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out the SpiegelMom Scraps YouTube channel while you're on here and click those links down below. Thanks for watching and let me know if you have any questions. Bye, y'all.